Hello, and welcome to Glass Half Full Reviews, Spoiler Edition! Today I'm going to be talking a little bit more about Veronica Mars. So, full warning, if you haven't seen the show, or the movie, or are not interested, or don't care, well, just don't watch if you don't want to know the spoilers, I guess is my point. So, one of the things that I found really interesting about this movie was the way it ended. And what do I mean? Open-ended. It was really open-ended. Sure, this particular mystery was solved, and yes, of course, the mystery was pointless. I mean, sure, we had a chance to kill a few extraneous characters, and sure, it was nice to see all those cameos all over the place, in that sort of, like, mildly fanboyish sort of way. The truth is, I was never a huge fan of the show, but I know enough so that I recognize the vast majority of all the little references. When Dax Shepard shows up in the club to start dancing, I think, oh, that's cute. Sure, some of the people I was at the audience were a little bit more excited to see Kristen Bell's husband, but as for me, I just thought, oh, alright. So, that happened. But in the end, the whole mystery was very simplistic. I mean, it didn't really have much of a build-up. And like I said in my other review, it is hard to transition from a TV-style mystery to a movie-style mystery. I can acknowledge that, and I really feel like it kind of came up short in that regard, even if there was definitely tension at the end. The problem was, the character was invented entirely for the movie. This Martin Starr's character, I just thought, well, who is this guy? I didn't remember him from the show, and I believe that's because I don't think he ever made an appearance. So, when he turns out to be the, spoilers again, actual killer, it was sort of anticlimactic. Like, oh yeah, the kind of creepy guy was the actual killer, and the various red herrings were sort of pointless. Another thing that I didn't particularly care for was the way that it sort of forced Logan and Veronica back together again. Now, part of this is sort of a theme that I saw throughout the movie, so I guess I can kind of understand, which is the Veronica is getting back into a place where she's being held captive by her emotions, and allowing the city that she thought she escaped to pull her back, including ruining an actually healthy relationship with one that is clearly not healthy. Or at least that's how I took it. Now, if that is the case, then I approve. If that wasn't the intent, then I don't. Now, I haven't listened to the commentary, so I'm not really sure if there is anything like that on there, but maybe I will at some point. But getting back to the open-ended nature of things, one of the things I did really like is how it just didn't resolve many different plot threads. The things that I was really interested in were these ideas about the corruption and the attacks on Keith. I was sort of thinking, oh, I guess we're not going to address that in the end, because it represents a systemic, real problem that can't just be solved over the course of 90 minutes. Seems more realistic, seems more reasonable. Sure, it also sets up room for a sequel, but I guess that's just icing on the cake. Now, I don't really remember much of Season 3, so I also don't really remember much of people's objection to the Piz character, her boyfriend from that season. He seemed fine to me. In fact, I kind of liked him better than Logan, but I don't know. I guess I'm just not that kind of a shipper. So over the course of this movie, Veronica keeps getting in deeper and deeper. She makes mistakes, and sometimes she's clever, sometimes she's too clever, and it sort of ends up with almost 100% luck keeping her alive at the end. And that's pretty consistent with the character, as it turns out. I mean, even if you look back in the first season, she kind of gets herself into serious trouble, but luckily manages to escape alive. So, I'm willing to accept that because it's sort of a continuation of the theme of, she's spunky, she's getting involved in a murder plot, and now she's almost going to get killed. Oh, no, not quite. She's not killed yet. So, okay. It was nice to see some of our old friends like Dick Casablancas. That guy was definitely one of the funnier people on the show, and it was nice to see him chortling it up again. I've seen him on a few things. There was that fake reality show that I don't quite remember the name of that was pretty funny. I recommend that for people who haven't seen it if you can. I don't remember if it's available online. I'll put a link in if it is. One of the things I wanted to see more of was that father-daughter relationship. That was always one of the strongest and most interesting parts of the show, and when it actually suffered because of mistakes either one made, that was more interesting. Some of the scenes from the show when Veronica and Keith had problems, or they're having to deal with mistakes they had made in the past because of the mother, or maybe one of them did something they shouldn't have. That was always more interesting. So I would have liked to see a little bit more of that dynamic, a little bit less of the cliched high school thing. Sure, there were some laughs there, but a lot of it just felt like, oh, this again. It just came to like a joke that was just getting run into the ground, and to me, it wasn't as interesting. Now that's not to say I didn't like the movie, because I did like it. I found it in general to be pretty witty. I liked a lot of the exchanges. I liked the way it ended. I also like the general arc of things. I like how it left people in a really bad state at the end of the movie, and no one was really that happy, and even Veronica was sort of like mixed about it. So, in that sense, I think it's kind of interesting for a movie not to end in that, oh, well, he's not going to have to go to jail, but then again. So there's a lot of pipe dreams going on there. A lot of ideas that could set up for an interesting sequel. I don't know if there's actually going to be one. So, putting all those things together, I would say the movie still works pretty well. It has a few flaws here and there, a lot of it due to that adaptation problem between going from TV to movies, but in general, still a recommendation. If you like the show, you're going to love this movie. If you love the show, well, you'll really love the movie. If you've never heard of the show, you'll probably be okay with it. And my last feeling is if you hate the show, you're also going to hate the movie. And that's a guarantee. Thanks for stopping by.